G'day and welcome back to my hobby room. Well, yeah, this is really not much of a hobby room. It's just boxes now. And that's the thing. I'm moving house, so everything's getting boxed up. So I thought, how about I show you what I do to pack my kits away? I mean, I've got some big sailing ships there, with lots of rigging. They really can get damaged and move. But I have a way to pack those that very minimal. A tiny little thing might fall off. Nothing major. I had no huge disasters. Then there's other side ships or battleships. I've got ways of packing those up. And then there's the armour and the aircraft. I've got ways of packing those up. So nothing gets damaged in transit. And they can travel hundreds of miles. Well, 800 miles. It's about as far as I ever move. And, no damage. Or there might be just something that fell off that wasn't glued on properly. And you just glue that little bit back on. It's no big deal. It really isn't. So would you like to see my tips and tricks for anything from a really big sailing ship right down to a tiny little miniature sort of thing? And I've got ways of packing all of them so they'll be safe, they'll be secure, and when they get to the next place, you really won't have much to repair. There's always repairs, but there won't be much. They'll arrive 99.9%. Harry Houdini gives you a 99.9%. Well, I don't. No, this is just my method, and it works for me. Pack at your own risk. All right, let's get on with it. Roll the music. There are a number of methods that I use when I put my built models away safely, so they'll hopefully travel to the next place without exploding. Yeah, you don't want that. So the really big models, well, I'm going to show you a method using these things called peanuts. You can get them in different sizes, and you'll often get them in your packing, so they're well worth keeping. If you ever get something that's all packed with peanuts, put them in a bag. They come in handy. I also use some dedicated boxes, like fishing boxes and that sort of thing, that have all these little compartments in them. They're really handy for smaller kits, and I'll pack those in there, and I'll pack them in with tissues. I'll show you about that. Then I've got some display boxes, which I would use anyway for displaying models sort of, on my bookcase and sort of in my living room and sort of anywhere that I want them to look nice. And I've got those in various sizes from small, medium and large. And that's often a good idea too, because sometimes you can even secure the model to the base and then just again pack around it. And I'll show you my method for keeping your model builds safe during transport. If your model is sort of built but what you've done is it's dry fit, or you might have just used some of this stuff, liquid tape, which I often do, which temporarily, it's like a contact adhesive, but you can still pull things apart. If you've done that, you've just kind of got it that way so that you're working on it, but it's still a big thing in a lot of space, well, disassemble it, right? Take the parts off. There's no need for it to be all joined together still. Okay, so pull it all apart. Don't know if I can get my wings out. I can. All right. In this case, pull it all apart. The beauty of wings kits is the tolerances are so tight. So there we go. And now I could actually put that all back in the box. So that is what I will do. I will repack it into the box. You can always find space. And here's one I've done before. Well, as you can see, I've used the plastic bags that were in there, and I've just put the fuselage in there loose. It's a little bit diagonal. The wings I've wrapped up in their own individual plastic bags so they won't get damaged. I've just popped these in loose for the moment. I'll probably wrap some tissue paper all around there, and I've got a container here for lots of little things, and then there's just bits and pieces like this. I'll probably put that in a bit of plastic as well. I'll put that in something safe. All right, and there's still tons of room, and then I can safely put the decals over the top. Bingo bongo. Here we go. All done, all safe. So again, the tissues in there will sort of stop from wobbling. The whole thing's going to fit together perfectly. So maybe that's another method that you didn't know about, that you sort of hadn't really thought about. It's quite obvious, really. Put it back in the box. If you can, disassemble it as much as you can. See if you can rip out the sprues. Obviously, I've taken out all the sprues I've used and I'll ditch those. But that will go back in the box, and I'll make sure that there's parts are there to finish it. And actually, I think it's built. It just needs painting. There you go. Now, Now this is a model kit build that I really would not like wrecked in transport. I don't want to have to redo all that rigging. I don't want to get tangled up. I don't want a mast broken. I don't want cannons snapped off. I want this thing to arrive pretty well as it is. And I did transport this Bounty last time. No problems at all. And the method I used resulted in looking exactly like this. I didn't have to do a thing to it. I don't even think anything fell off. It was in absolutely perfect condition. And this is the method. It's pretty simple. You'll need a very large plastic container. And I get these from the dollar store. You can get them in 20, 30, 40, so on. This is a 40. It's probably too big. You could probably put the Bounty in a 30. But there's lots of these sort of big containers that you can get for very little money. They're very handy for work in progress as well. If you're working on a ship and you've got all the sails and you're sort of half done, you don't want the thing getting all dusty before you get around to putting it into a space cabinet. What you can do is you can use one of these big tubs, and often I turn them upside down. So that way I basically could just click the top off. So I'm actually dropping it into the thing. I just basically take the top off. Like so. And then I can put the kit down there very carefully when I'm building it. And then just pop this over the top. Hopefully all your lights aren't in the way. And there you go. And this container will take up to a big ship. I'll get a Victory in here, and I'll be able to get the St. Louis and the Prince in there. They would all fit. In fact, you probably, for transport, even get probably 2. But the method here is to use those peanuts, right? Don't worry, if you're allergic to nuts, it's not going to matter. It won't matter with this at all. They're not that kind of nuts. They're made out of styrofoam. So we actually need the container up the right way to do this. So let me set up, and then I'll show you how easy it is to do that. Right, it's easier if you've got this on the ground. You're not trying to put it on your hobby bench. But the method's the same. You need plenty of room all the way around, and often I will put the ship diagonally, because diagonally means when it's diagonal you'll get more space all around. And then it's just a matter of taking these peanuts, right? You can get a smaller, finer ones, or you can even break these up if you like. But it doesn't matter, because all they're trying to do is create a way to hold it in place but still have flexibility. This is the whole trick to packing any of your built models. Don't have them stiffly packed. If you do, any jarring on the box or container, bang, they will break. They must have give and take, so loose packing is what you're trying to do all the time. So with these, you just simply pour the little buggers in. Right, here we go. Okay, and jiggle it down. Now, if I bang that box, I am not going to wreck that ship, right, no matter what happens. If you can have enough of these peanuts, they go right to the top, or work with a smaller box. Like this is actually quite a big container, and I'm just showing that this video is the first one that I found with my unpacking. I know I've got a slightly smaller actual cardboard box that I would probably put them in, but you wouldn't be able to see through the side of the cardboard, would you? No. What kind of video would that be? Just be like, imagine inside this box right now, it's full of peanuts. Well, now you can see. You can see that pretty well. The Bounty will move, but because I set it diagonally, the bowsprit is never going to slam into the front there. The lanterns at the back are not going to crash up against there. The rigging, I mean, imagine if it's a bit fuller. The rigging will sort of be held in place, but never be stressed or damaged. These peanuts, I've got a ton of air in them, and they're very soft, so they will protect your model. So that is a way to do things that are fairly large. Even say if you've got big like wing-nut wings biplanes, that would work as well. Pop them in some sort of container, fill it full of peanuts, and away you go. It will be safe, secure, and it should arrive at the other end pretty well exactly as you packed it. Now, just about every modeller has got some tissues in his hobby room. I mean, for cleaning up airbrushes and that sort of thing, wiping down your benches and, basically desnotifying your nose when you need to do that when you've got a cold. Yeah. We all do it, we all do it, we all do it. Now, they come in really handy, and you don't need a lot of them. Now this is a dedicated container. It has compartments. As I said, you can get like fishing containers, that sort of thing, right? And they all have those little compartments in. You can get them even smaller. I've got another one around here which has got tiny little ones, and so they're really good for the smaller models. So let me see what I can find in here. Hopefully see good, Nick. That oh look, I've got a tiny little thing in here. See, not that it's that precious, but a nice little model will fit in there, no problem at all. And it's sat there. I haven't got that out actually since I moved here, so that's 3 years. And then here, oh, this is my entry in the club competition. So this is quite fragile. So this one has got some little fragile little bits and pieces on it. And nothing there is broken at all. Look at it all that stuff. So it's just sat in there. And what I've done is I put in the tissues first. Don't put it straight on the plastic in there. I put 1 or 2 tissues in first, and I diagonally put them across, you know, one this way, one that way. And then I'll place in the model. Okay. Again, diagonals are good because you get more room around things. And then over the shorter sides, put the tissue, right? And if you're at all worried, then add another one that way. And notice I didn't really scrunch it up much. And now when the box is shaken, again, it's not moving, okay? Some of the other ones are. I need to have a look how they're packed. But that one is not moving. Everything's nice and loose in there. So there's other things in here. I mean, oh, it's a Tamiya Schwinn wagon. It's been, oh, it's not a Schwinn wagon. This is the American one, the GPA or whatever it's called. Yeah, that's sitting there. It does seem to have lost its steering wheel, but it's probably floating around in there somewhere. It might have just come loose from the from the moving and packing, but it's all there. It works. What else we got? We've got another. We've got a little tank here. Now this one, it's okay, but in the heat, careful where you store them. I must have stored these somewhere. Well, I did. I had them out in the garage for a while, and it's not insulated. It is an enclosed garage, turned in a rubbish room, but the heat actually did that. That's all that's wrong with it. And I mean, that could happen anywhere in Australia. The heat to get to it. Apart from that, none of the little fine pieces are broken. It's all right. And oh look, there is another little Schwinn wagon in there. So let's see if that's still in one piece. Oop. Yes, it is. Even the tiny little fine little things, they're all there. So that survived as well, and that's been there for years. As I rotate things, but I haven't really had my armour out much at all lately. So that might have even been in there for 6 years, and it's fine. I've traipsed it from here and traipsed it to there. So that is that. And to say I've managed to put 2 things in here because they're fairly light, and then tissue over the top just to secure it. And I've got aircraft in there as well, and other little things. And that's the thing. It's a great little thing to have one of these containers. Now, what if you've got something a lot bigger? Well, this is where these big display cases come in really handy. So this is my Lamb Whopper Schlapper, right? LWS. Okay. Award-winning thing that I'm very proud of, and I don't want it broken. There's just too many fragile things on it, right? It really is quite a delicate model with lots of detail. So, again, pick a big enough box, and in this case, good thing about these is they clip down. Now, I could put some screws and attach to the base, but you're often better off if you've got a bit of spongy foam or something, put that down for it to sit on. But still, a few tissues will do the job. You don't need many, so we'll do 3. 3 tissues. Lightly scrunched. You don't really want them to be hard. You want this thing to sit loosely. And then I'll need enough to pack the front of it or in the corners, and pop a couple across the top. Okay, and then it's a matter of squeezing all that in. It's usually not that hard. There we go. Then you can sort of test it. Well, it's not moving anywhere, is it? Even just with that, probably add a few more for luck, but that's really not moving around much at all. And so that's the thing. And then I would secure this box. In fact, what I've got is the original cardboard box that this goes into. And so what I do is I slide that into the original cardboard box and sellotape up that box, and then that gets put in my car. So there you are. That's the box method we're using tissues, and it'll work for any size box. Even a cardboard box, it would work. So there you go. Those are my little tips and tricks on the ways that I pack up my built models so they don't break in transit, or at least it minimises there being any breakage. I mean, it depends. If you've got removers that kind of use your boxes for footballs, well, yeah, I usually don't let the removers actually touch my kit boxes. They can have the ones with the kits in, but they can't have the boxes that actually got my built models in, right? So I put a lot of stuff in my car. So they're all, done up carefully using either that peanut method or the tissue method in various size boxes and, containers that I've got. And then it all gets stuffed in my car, right? Because, there's only about 100 of them. That fills my car, yeah. And then I know they're in there and it's just me. I'm not throwing them around. I'm just going to stay off all the bumps. Yep. And Basker's very excited about the move. Are you excited? Yes, I thought you might be. We're moving house. We have a whole new house with a cat run and everything. That's right. Yeah, nonchalant. Yeah, it's okay, human, as long as you do all the packing. Yes, you can tell she's excited. But she's sniffing all the boxes. She knows something's afoot. But I mean, it's been 6 weeks now we've been looking, so there have been I've been boxing up something every other day, so she gets used to me bringing a box in and doing something, and then nothing happens. We stay here. So then so with a bit of luck, I've desensitised her. You never know, because in other places I brought the boxes out. She goes, "Oh no, not again." But I mean, that's when we were moving every 6 months because houses were selling out front of me. I'd rent a place. And then the landlord would put it on bloody market for sale, which was illegal. They're not supposed to do that till you've lived there at least 6 months. Anyhow, they put it up for bloody sale. And I had all these bloody strangers traipsing through and everything. And then I'd keep the place nice and tidy. I'd try and be nice to everyone that came through, and it would sell. And I got to the point where I thought I should put an advert in the paper, want to sell your house? Rent it to me. Because I went through 6 in a row. 6 lots of 6 months. So it was a period of 3 years. And they just kept selling the bloody houses. I mean, what I should have done was, painted satanic symbols all over the wall and had a bong there going on the floor and, just completely messed the place up, looked real stanky, like sitting there in my underpants, dirty underpants and a singlet or something like that, But that's not me, is it? That's not the Harry Houdini we all know and love. No, so we won't even go there, but there you go. Hopefully this new place, they're not going to sell it. They said they're not going to sell it. It's in the family. It's a family rental. It's really good. I know the guy that owns the place. Hopefully it's a good fit for me. It's a really nice place. It's like a Taj Mahal completed here. Wait till you see what I'm going to have for a hobby room. That probably will be the topic of the next video because in a week's time I'll be in there. And maybe what we'll do is take the blank room that I'm going to use and I'll show you my method for working out how I should set up a hobby room from scratch. Doesn't that sound interesting? That'll be next time. So I just hope you enjoyed this video. And if you did, and if you made it this far, you know your job. You've only got one job. Yes, pack, tape, and send. Yes, those are the buttons. Hit one of them, see what happens. And if you want to, you buy me a curry, because I'm going to be living on takeaway curry for the next week, because basically the kitchen's going to be packed up, right? So I'm not going to cook anything. I'm going to need curries. I'm telling you. All right. So from Basta Cat, myself, yes, Bask, we are moving house. Lucky she doesn't understand words, only inflections. What? You understand words? Oh, no. Cat's out of the bag. Well, bag's out of the cat. You know what I mean. Anyhow, that's enough. Bye from Australia, and it's hooroo from Harry and Eddie. New house next time. Yeah, look forward to that. See you then.